Pardon the backlighting. Hong Shan Fui. Tis I once again. This time we're actually going to start doing a little bit of work on your instrument. So we have here, as you can see kind of maybe in the background, your MDF board and a few tools that we're going to need for this job of copying down the designs onto this to make them into templates are as follows. Transfer paper. In my case, I get big transfer paper. Stuff this large is actually kind of hard to find. And it's not quite big enough for most jobs, but if you turn it this way, heck, you can see that I've done a lot of transferring. It still works though, it's just basically carbon paper. Anyway, you turn it this way, you can get necks, so it's pretty great. And because the neck and headstock design come out separately onto this, that allows for a little bit more flexibility in design. The other tools we're going to need, we're still going to need a pencil. This is a mechanical pencil. We're going to need a straight edge of varying lengths. I like to use a centering rule, and in order to get a 90-degree angle, centering rule paired with small, also straight edge ruler works pretty darn well. This actually works pretty darn well as well. If you line up the line with 6 and this line right there, it lines up perfectly. You can do marvelous things from that. Aside from that, the things that we're going to need is the design itself, and we're going to need some tape. So I want to hustle up and do that. And once we start doing this, I want to make sure everything lines up and I don't have to alter any lines before I start copying stuff. So first we put down the paper, line stuff up, then we go ahead and put down the, lift that up, put down the transfer paper, put this back down, and tape everything into place. I'll be back. Much like the Bengals, we can walk like Egyptians. So, grab some of this stuff from out here. I'm going to want to do a rudimentary tape down. And if you were wondering from the last couple of videos, yes, I did have this hanging on my wall. I always do that with new designs so I can get a good feel for them. Lay this out flat, like so. Let's bring the camera over so y'all can see what I'm doing. Come on over. Now this is my outside. Remind me one of these days to tell you about our trash cans. That's fun. And the story behind those, that neighbor over there, neighbor that lives over here, that his name is Keith, but we call him Earl. It's kind of an inside joke, but you'll understand if I tell you the story. And then here we go. So I guess I'll just lay this out this way. We might get a cat or two helping us out along the way. Oh, there's a little purse down there. I have to show you this. Isn't this the cutest thing? My wife's mother made that. She's very handy with stuff like that. It's pretty great. All right. Just a quick rudimentary tape down. Well, after I flatten it out again. There we go. And here. So as you can see, everything is based on the center line. Center line. Center line go through is very centered. Is very straight. And if you're going to design a guitar, you want things that way. If you didn't have that, well, you really wouldn't have anything. But it's a bilateral design. So technically it's a bivertical design, but when you're setting it up this way, it's bilateral. And there needs to be symmetry in quite a bit of it. So all we need for this is the B string and the E string. You don't even need to fully assemble it, which is pretty nifty. All we need to do is put these guys in here so I can see where the strings come out. And what we're aiming for is about a 2 degree 2 degree, sorry. How about, there we go. We're aiming for about 2 millimeters difference. Or really, from here, we're going to come out about to there. That's that. So, let's see here. I already got that out. So, yeah. And that would be for the lines of the neck, where they come out. That would just be really swell. So I realize the springs would probably make this a little bit more stable, but it's unnecessary. And we want to get it about halfway in, so midway, to give us room to work both sides of this. I have a really nifty way of putting a bridge on, or squaring a bridge to where it actually needs to go. And that's a design I lifted off of a guy named Jared Rosa. You should watch some of his stuff. He's a good old boy from way back down south, I think in Kentucky or Tennessee. He builds guitars and mandolins, no electrics really. He does a lot of repair work, and he does a lot of videos, and I learned a lot from watching him. Now, his deal was that, good, 75. I was talking about whether or not you were going to get the small one or the tall one. Actually, 1.25 would have been the preferred height, but we can totally work with this. It'll be fine. Let's see here. But what I understood from him, holy crap, that's just about as amazing as right there. I'll draw that out the rest of the way to make sure it goes to the right place. And it does. And that's pretty dead on. So here's the nut. I mean, and look at that. It's not nearly as wide, doesn't have to be, but the width is what I planned out for the nut blank that I intend to use. It's still not going to be that wide at the end of it. But so there you go on those. What I was saying though is I've got a rig that goes underneath the guitar, wraps around it, basically holds strings as they sit atop of this and run their way down here and there. So you get the relief, which is the distance between the string end and the end of the fretboard, lined up on both sides as good as you can to where they're acting as 2 straight edges. So you install a tuner here and a tuner up there, run the 2 strings. I use G strings for this, so it's pretty exacting. But at any rate, I line the 2 up, and then I hit the harmonic, and then I hit the 12th fret. So I basically set intonation, and I got a pretty good ear. So I set the intonation by ear, and that is kind of a bugger. So you have to move this around a little bit. But once you get it exact, stab it a couple of times. Get the holes in for the screws, and just with an awl, a sticky pokey, and or a brattle or bradle, depending on where you're from. Hit it with a sticky pokey, and then basically that's where your bridge goes. And your intonation probably will be perfect from the minute we put it on there. It will never need adjustment. That's the best part of it. Once it's there, and if you don't change your strings to a different size or something, it's on, and that's it. And it's great. I actually did a whole video one time about the myth of setting your intonation, or resetting your intonation, to a friend of mine, and I'm going to send that to you because I think you'll find it pretty interesting. I guarantee you a properly aligned bridge doesn't need to be, oh, I got to recheck my intonation. No, once it's set, it's done. You just don't need to. I am more about busting myths. There we go. I'm going to make sure also that that's a 25.5-inch mark. So yeah, I am more about busting myth. Yeah, what do you know? That line is right too. So get that line up right there. Yeah, that's going to be fine. Anyway, so what I was saying though is I am more about busting like myths that I used to believe. You know, the Lucky Underwear stuff that I was talking about, that kind of thing. I am more about killing those to let you be free, you know, from our bondage of our own misbeliefs than I am about just about anything else, which is one of the reasons, again, why I redesigned the guitars. It's important, to me at least. So this part is done. One of the things that I'm going to do now is, of course, double check with you watching the pickups. And I'm going to ask you a couple of questions while I'm doing this. So we were talking before about placement of things, and you want this a little bit further back. This would be your volume knob. So I'm putting that right here, not right there, unless you liked where mine was on my guitar that I brought over. But aside from that, the three-way toggle, which is actually, I think, a knife switch. I don't know, I'll have to look at that. And if this doesn't come with one, you're going to have to get one of those too. Anyway. Oh, and I got a bunch of cats, so Hopper is a good boy. He's running around all over the place right now. Looking at me like, what? So this is the 85, it's your bridge pickup. And as you'll notice, it goes exactly between the lines. Actually, the width is perfect. I'm sorry, the width is the one that needs to change. The height is perfect. So that goes right there. And I will bring that out by about 1 millimeter.
I'm going in tonight.
Are you?
Yeah.
Oh, honey, I'm sorry to hear that. Is there anything I can do for you? I could cook dinner for you.
You could come clean litter pads.
All of them? Alright, so we have 2 volumes. We've got the battery switch. We've got the main terminal here. We've got a sticker. Alright. What's in the other box? Oh, and we've got a jack. That's good. Jacks are important. So I confess I haven't opened this one, but I opened the other one. And time to play. Ooh, sticky things. And I did notice that the stickers, stickums on the bottom, they are gone. So what I will do is my best to ensure. Yeah, that just needs widened a tiny bit too. So one of the things I can do about that is line the pickup nicely with the front to where I know I want that to go, and then just draw around back there. There we go, just like that. So I've got that. Line it to where I want it to be in the front. There we go. Back actually, which is right on it. Bring just a hair forward. Not that far. Hello, Rumbles. Okay, so that's my screaming boy, Rumbles. He's 18 and he wants water, but he only wants water out of the tub, although we get water for him all the time. Anyway, all right. So that's the new. And I'm only going to need to make a single. In fact, I'm going to use this. That's a good idea. Yeah. I will use this to make the rudimentary cutout of the, what's that called? Template. That's it. That's what I'm making now. Anyway, I will use that for the rudimentary cutout of the template. And that should do it. Get rid of your interior lines. Another way of doing this, instead of using an eraser, is to just draw little X's over them. That's really damn close, actually. So, that's good. And of course, it'll go that way. So yeah, let's see what else we got in here. Wiring instructions. That's a joke, actually. It's like a kid with socks on Christmas. Yeah, I'm going to need that. And yeah, we got 2 jacks, in fact, and 2 more volume knobs. Hi, Rum. This is Hopper. He's my helper. very good boy, but this is not going to work, Hopper. I'm afraid you're going to have to get down. He listens to me very carefully. More wiring instructions. What a good boy. Thank you, little man. Certainly appreciate your catness. Alright, so this would be the 85. You are the 81. Hold up. You said 85 in the bridge, 81. Yeah, they're the same size though, so it's nothing I have to worry about. Look at that. Exactly. So they were both designed as a bridge pickup. Ooh. The magnet. It works. Ceramic magnets and the 81. I believe the 85 has an Alnico. And you are the 81. So I'll place you in your 81 box. And you are the 85, so I will place you in the 85 box. I'm back. So now that we have fixed dimensions for these and everything seems to be turning out pretty well, I'll rough out a couple of things really quickly. I want to bring that back just a hair. And that's fine. I don't want to bring that, no. Bring that forward just a little. I want to leave enough room for the ferrules though. That'll do. I'm going to make sure they're in a straight line, of course, so. Oh, there. That's better. So I want one side a little more curved than the other, and here's why. One side will be holding in the guitar neck in a way that will be helpful to it to stay from moving laterally, and the other side will be helpful in helping it to go further this way. We'll keep it from moving this way. Even though both are going to keep it from moving this way. Having them staggered like that helps keep it from shifting. And you wanted 5, so 5 you get. Although I normally do 3, and I used to only do 2. Oh my God, if I did 2, man, that would be 1 right there and 1 right there, and it still would be rock solid and never move. And I would use set screws. Oh, I never asked. Did you want your strap button here or on the other side and back? Just a question. Don't know. So let's see here. And your jack will be, of course, back here and right there. Will be your other strap button. This is just a forearm cutaway. I was thinking about, making some more cutouts in that, much like is in the guitar I brought over. And I can do that. If that's something you're interested in, that wouldn't be a trouble. Does look nice. It's a little bit of a hump. But this is just a general, hey, you get an idea of what it'll look like. That's what designs are for. But for what we're about to do is following designs. Something like that. Anyway, yeah, that looks nice. I'm going to make sure that the fretboard is 19.5 inches in length. Well, not the fretboard, but where the neck actually ends, which is the beginning of the truss rod. Adjustment tool. Shit, no it doesn't. That was a mistake. Okay, look at that, right there. Oh, you know what? I ended it where the truss rod goes. So this whole thing actually needs to come back a little, which is fine. This will be fixed. This is why we check our shit. So this actually fixes a lot of stuff. So and it makes me happy. Double check. Nope! Hopper, no. We have a cat named Myrtle, and she is the fall cat, you could say. The dog doesn't like her. It's the only one. Just kind of noses into her a little bit, chases her around a bit. And the other cats aren't really fans either. Myrtle is a little bit different than your normal cats. She's polydactyl. She has thumbs. In fact, she has 2 of them on each hand. So I'm keeping a distance reference here, here. Put these front end guys, we've got to go. So here's what we do. So this is the end of the neck. 1/4 inch out from that is the depth of the truss rod adjustment wheel. Put that right on there. And that goes about to here. It's actually not quite that deep, but I'm taking it out that far anyway. And there. So from there, get a little bit of a here, there, and everywhere. So hip to be square. All right, this is where your pickup is actually going to begin. Route, that is. Me, I like to route it straight in. So, here. Right there. Get rid of those lines. These little round dudes. Now, the end of the fretboard will be here. Your 24th fret will be right there. Let's get that back. Reestablish our lines here. There's a difficulty when there's a seam in the table. But there's no seam in this table. I just caught something. Anyway, so let's find out the width of that. Would be 1 1/2, but it's not 1 1/2. It's 1 and just shy of. Oh geez. I guess that's 1 and 3/60. Yeah, 3/64 over the half. Math. 35/64. That's right, Sean. Very good. I know you're on top of your shit. It's the same size. Hey, hey. All right, so that's in. These designs at the end of the fretboard, I have a couple. So you'll have your 24th fret. The fretboard technically ends approximately where the there we go. Like that. I do like doing that. The vampire teeth. But at any rate, your fretboard ends at the 24th fret, where the neck will be sitting right here. It's like if your 24th fret was here, your neck would literally end right there. The fretboard is going to extend out the length of another fret, so the equivalent of a 26th fret, which is approximately 1/4 inch, and it would work out to where it stops right about there. Now, for something like this, I don't know if that kind of elegance, if you want to call it that, would work out well. I actually think that just having it straight and flat might actually be a better look, but you know me, I'm Mr. Aesthetics. I have to be, I'm the designer. All right, so we've got some stuff going on. picking all this stuff up, and I'm going to put this underneath there and tape some stuff. And to risk anything else bad happening, or not risk, that is, anything else bad happening, nothing bad has happened yet, I'm just going to go ahead and do it and not talk anymore. I wonder if that's even possible. So, it's not. The neck is going to go up here, the headstock will be about here, and we'll get a body here and a body here. The body here will be mainly for neck, getting the neck in, and a couple other minor details. The one over here will be a little bit more for, like what's behind the guitar, or if there are any top routes or anything like that. But you want two of them for alternating purposes. I'm going to lay that out flat. Flat as we can. I mean, can't help wrinkles, and there will be little tiny missing pieces because of the wrinkles. But I'm not concerned about that, neither should you be, because when I'm done with this, I go over it again and I make sure everything is lined up all right. Here we go. So I want to maximize a couple of things. One is the amount of board I'm using here. I want to minimize the amount of board I'm using, but I want to maximize the highlight of the center line on every piece that I'm doing, because I want the center line not only to transfer, I want the center lines to be always there, so like when I cut all these out of this, I want everything to be able to be snapped together perfectly and that the center lines travel straight through. That's the goal. Of course, I'm not laser cutting this, I'm not CNCing this, I'm not water, jetting this. I am eyeballing this and using old-fashioned methods like saws and sandpaper. So it's a tough gig, but it's quite rewarding when you get it right. Anyway, and I feel like that since I did the Vaporcaster, I'm going to be doing all my guitars like this, because I used to just do a single body and single neck thing, and I never bothered with the, just to get a general taper, but I never bothered with the fit, so I would never do one with the neck cut out. Oh yeah, that's the other one. One's going to have this, the other one's going to have where the neck actually fits right in. That's it. And the one with this can also have this and this, if that's exactly where you want them. If you want them tilted, or if you want them a little closer together, then we can talk about that, but I don't think you're going to need that. So at any rate, that's that. Just in case a cat gets up. A little bit there. All right, let's grab some straight edges and have a good time. The body itself is the only real artistic part of this. It's freehand. So, here we go. And so begins the music montage. coincidentally, there might be enough left on this. If something goes wrong with that, I can get another one out of here. And there may be enough left for one out of here if necessary. But this comes in handy for all sorts of things, including your EMG templates, just saying. This is much like Pee Wee Herman's Connect the Dots. La 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 la.
Snake